Hey everyone, well, it's no surprise that in July, both prices and sales volume have continued to slide. And for the first time since the pandemic began, the sales price to list price ratio is below 100%. That means that the average price is selling below its asking price, which officially marks the end of bidding wars. Since the peaks in February, March, prices are down about 18% and sales volume is down about 50%. However, it's really hard to analyze market stats in July and August. The market is definitely down because of higher borrowing costs and just general consumer sentiment, but looking at it from a month-over-month perspective is not very realistic because things always slow down in July and August. I am more interested to see what happens when September and October prices are released, in a few weeks. Looking at year-over-year numbers, prices are basically flat. And I'd like to predict that once the August numbers are released in September, we will see the first year-over-year decline in average prices since the pandemic began. However, I'm starting to think that Toronto is nearing the bottom in terms of sales prices. Most sellers who are listing their homes right now don't need to sell. They haven't bought anything yet, so they're going to put their home on the market, and if they can't get the price they want, they just won't sell. There will of course be outliers. There's people that need larger spaces, or there's been a death in the family, or divorce, things like that. But in general, most people are not forced to sell their homes right now. And as a result, we aren't seeing those massively discounted prices that we saw in May and June, where people were forced to sell their homes to be able to close on a new home. Also, I've had a lot of buyers reach out to me over the last few weeks. These are people that were looking to buy homes in January and February and March, and then sort of moved to the sidelines for a bit to see how things played out. They've started to resurface again, which I think is a very good sign for the market. I do still think there's some downside to the market. We've already gone down, roughly 15% depending on the product and the neighborhood, and there likely probably still is another 3 or 4 or 5% decline. But those big declines have already happened, and we are starting to see a bit more stabilization. The GTA population continues to grow, and there's tight labor market conditions, which will continue to push forward that growth. And at the end of the day, there has been a shift in consumer sentiment right now, but not market fundamentals. Torontonians still want to own homes, and there is still a massive supply shortage in Toronto. So once buyers start feeling a bit more confidence and stability in the market, they will return to the market and prices will increase again. September 7th is the next Bank of Canada announcement, where it's expected that interest rates will be hiked once again. Just today though, it was announced that inflation has slowed to 7.6% year over year. And that's the first time on a year over year basis, inflation has declined since June 2020. And as we know, once the government gets inflation in check back to their target of 1 to 3%, interest rates will start coming down again. And once interest rates start coming down again, buyers will be more active and prices should start going back up again. Albeit, hopefully at a much slower pace than we saw throughout the pandemic. But stay tuned, of course, I'll report back in a few weeks. Until then, enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you very much. Bye.